And welcome back to the video. In these times, if you withdraw some cash out of the banks, banks refuse, and they give you a lot of hassle. Obviously, in each country, probably the legislation is similar, more or less. But here in Italy, it's governed by the civil code, and the specified code is Article 1883 to 1884, which means the moment you deposit money in a bank, it becomes property of the bank. Therefore, insolvents of the bank, when they use bail-in, they will use your money or your savings deposit in the bank. But the bank is obliged to give you back at prior notice what type of bank you go to, what type of contract or service you have. But this is the difference if you have a current account or a savings account with the Italian post office or post office in general. It's just an example which I am using here in Italy. And when you deposit, it's a bit like you lending the money to them, because the article says it's always who is the owner of the current account is their money. And even in inheritance, whoever inherits will have the right to this money. And obviously it's the same thing applies here. At prior notice, you inform the institute, which is the post office, current account, to give you money. And difference from post office and banks, current accounts, when you deposit money, the fact is, with the post office, you're guaranteed by the Cassa dei Depositi e Prestiti, which is an institution, which is a government thing, which by law is guaranteed. That regards anything which is, you have a current account, whether you have a savings account or you have some type of investment product with them. Insurance companies, which they sell you a investment project, it could be a health assurance, and that applies the same case there. The money is yours when you require, and depending on the type of contract you have with a company, probably may differ. But you know, between banks and post offices, when you have to withdraw a certain sum, they always aggravate you and ask you for the motive why. It's not written in the contract. You have to give them a motivation for withdrawal, because obviously it's transferable, because obviously up to a certain amount in cash they can't give you. They can give you a check payable to the who benefits from it or whatever, and so on. And the fact that, well, I did mention in these times you have credit institutes a bit nosy, and they just give you hassle about withdrawing a certain amount. Obviously, due to contract of the product or service which you're with that institute, you have to go by that really. And even the case in insurance, banks and post offices, well, post offices are guaranteed by the Italian government here in Italy. Insurance companies, banks are regulated by the government institute, which is Consob, which even regulates and is watchdog over the stock exchange as well. There are guarantees regarding different credit institutes, but with mainly banks, obviously it's more of a higher risk due to bankruptcy or bail-in. If it's news, that means they will use your money on your current account or savings or whatever. So it would be best, whether it's convenient for you, to have a post office account, which here it is, Poste Italiana, Banco Post, and their charge cards here in Italy are accepted in most commercial establishments, regarding like other charge cards, Visa or MasterCard or Diners.